Okay, okay. No, the reason sabi ko national treasure kay Ronald Llamas and happy birthday sa kanya kasi parati siya nagreklamo na wala daw siyang honorarium sa atin mga patay gutom na vloggers. Sabi ko, national treasure ka naman eh, hindi mo na kailangan ng honorarium. So, eto na. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us and looking forward to Mark Gamboa coming in soon. Guys, eto na. Chris, I'll start with you because I just had Jess kahapon. Just magpahinga ka muna ha. Mamaya natin pag-usapan si Sir Ronald. Kasi si Ronald sabi niya siya lang daw hindi kinasuhan. Ano na siya eh. Ano na siya eh. Nainggit siya. So Chris, what is your read of this all of these things coming out of Rizal Diverse? It looks very much like a demolition job to me. I mean, I'm not making any final judgment. I'm still looking at the evidence, whatever is coming out on internet. But this looks like a very curious timing, to put it mildly.
Alam mo, ano eh, pag tinignan mo, it's clearly a demolition job. Kasi the fact that they singled out Risa Hontiveros for this and they were trying to make a point by actually, Anthony Taberna, by picking on the cleanest, okay, senator to make a point. And matalino si Katuning dito eh. Kasi ginawa niya, in-explain ko to sa video ko na he kept saying, hindi ko naman sinasabing corrupt si Risa. Hindi ko din sinasabi na totoo to. Ang sinasabi ko lang, nakita ko to and gusto kong malaman kay Sen Risa kung totoo ba to. At hindi ko sinasabing masama ang insertions. Sinasabi ko lang, lahat meron. At walang masama doon basta walang kumupit, walang substandard, walang overpriced, at kung above board, walang problema. Pero bakit daw niya dinedenay na may insertions daw? Pero pag makita mo nga, it's clear naman that what Riza said and then what Anthony Taberna said are two different things. Anthony Taberna is saying it's a budget insertion. Riza saying that I never had a BICAM insertion and an unprogrammed appropriation. So malaking difference yan kasi yung ginawa ni Riza are amendments to the budget which is done during the plenary. Pinag-uusapan yan eh. May live stream pa nga eh. And that could be what it is for all intents and purposes. Or, or may gumamit lang ng pangalan niya para ilagay yung mga items na yon. Pwede din ganon. So, hindi natin alam. Yun lang yung bottom line doon. So, Anthony Taberne, by disclosing this information only for Risa Ontiveros is clearly a demolition job and to make a point. Kasi, bakit yung hindi all 23 other senators? Think about it. There are a lot of more of the usual suspects. Bakit si Risa, di ba? Single out. And why not pakita mo lahat? Kung talagang you just wanted to be more transparent. But the fact that you didn't open it up to everyone and show everyone's name, all the senators, demolition job.
Yeah. Thank you so much for laying out the predicate na Sir Ronald would put it. Attorney Falsis, hindi naman na gusto ko dumagdag yung mga kaso sa'yo, but does this look like a salacious, I won't say libelous, but salacious, titillating, sensationalized kind of journalism? Kasi yung parang, wala akong sinasabi pero kasi gawain ni Sir Ronald yun. Wala akong sinasabi, pero may sabing gano'n. I mean, this looks like throwing basically meat at the di ba, at the hyenas kasi all the hyenas right now are all over the place saying, "Oh, bakit si Risa rin naman may insertion? Oh, si Risa meron din siyang flood control di ba?" So at the very least this is more like lahat naman quote unquote corrupt. So basically create this false equivalence which we mentioned kahapon, di ba? But more than that, this could be really factually problematic, right? Ikaw, Jess, what is your read of this situation as of this taping? Kasi we're still studying the evidence coming in or supposed evidence.
Yeah, yeah. Well, definitely, no. Definitely, it's a sensationalist but carefully crafted disinformation. No? Siyempre, parang nagtatanong lang siya. Pero mas madami pang tanong na nare-raise kaysa sa sinasagot niya, no? Because we have to ask, sino bang source niya nung listahan? Because we're not sure if authentic ba yung listahan. Unlike if we get it from Senator Win Gatchalian, if we get it from Senator Ping, at least alam natin binangga nila yung NEP, binangga nila yung GAA, or yung bill mismo na naging batas, talagang doon nila kinukuha. What we have is allegedly a printout or parang an itemized list na meron ng total kagad doon, di ba? Wala tayong nakikitang ganung listahan for other senators na lumabas. Kunwari yung 600 million ni Senator Cheese or yung kay Senator Joel na nasa unprogrammed funds. Kapag tinitingnan mo yung listahan ng itemized list, wala yung total sa taas per senator. Like ito kay Senator Risa sa pinakita ni Anthony Taberna, may 3 billion sa taas. Walang ganon. Dapat ang itemized list lang is talagang yung listahan ng project. So, meron nang nag-summarize? Meron na bang
Yeah, parang
nag-collate?
nag-crop out siya, no? Parang naka-crop out tapos na ano, 'di ba? Parang ganun ang dating.
Oh, ibig sabihin, hindi na siya mismo yung direct or pure source, which is either the GAA, yung batas, or yung mga insertions na parang identified or itemized na insertions. Ano na siya parang propaganda report na siya. And ang question nga, saan niya nakuha? And then of course, hindi niya sinasabi kumpleto ba yung nakuha niya. Because tayo, we want to know if Senator Risa has insertions. Let's be frank, no? Ako, I'm sure you would agree. But personally, if meron talagang insertions, may ghost projects si Senator Risa, that's fine. Ilabas naman yan lahat. Ilabas talaga yan lahat. Yan na nga yung inihingi natin at gusto natin kay Senator Ping na klaruhin because sinabi na ni Ping Lacson, almost all senators have insertion. So, sino yung wala? Or sino tong almost all? So, I'm with Anthony Taberna if and only if talagang lahat ilalabas. So, kung meron siyang listahan ng lahat, ang tanong dyan sa kanya, the burden is, bakit si Risa lang ang nilabas niya?
So, well, Chris, I want to go back to that. So basically, Jez is saying mukhang hindi lang selective. Parang inedit na, doon mo na kayo, ilagay lang namin si Risa dito at then emphasize namin si Risa. Parang ganun ang dating. It doesn't look like an innocent reportage, to put it mildly.
Well, let's add this. Hindi niya sinabi kung ano yung source niya. So if you look at the actual document, it's not an official document. So yun, that already calls into question the veracity of the actual information because tama si attorney is I don't think it's an official Senate document eh. So yun ang importante na titignan natin is where did that information come from? And then from there, titignan kung tama yung pagkalagay nga nun. Again, this is the problem with social media and exposing these things. You can be irresponsible like that kasi nga wala ka naman sa korte where kaya mong tignan tong mga ebidensya at te-test natin. We're gonna poke holes at it, titignan natin if it holds water. In this case, there's no way of doing that. The main purpose of coming up with this information is just to be able to create doubt. It's misinformation. It could be correct, but it's the way it's delivered can make it seem like it's another thing altogether. Yun yung problem talaga dito. I would like to see what Sen Risa has to say about this, of course. And like we always say naman, guilty is guilty if she is. Although it is very questionable at this point. And again, tulad naman sinabi ni Anthony, wala namang masama talaga kung insertion that's above board, done during the plenary. But then again, it could even be as simple as an amendment. It may not even be an insertion. Even Sen JV said na during the plenary, we do talk about the possible amendments. That's our job to make amendments. And kung may kailangan naman talagang multipurpose hall na papagawa talaga sa isang distrito, why not? Why say, by the way, kailangan na tuwaad. Ganun. So, pwede naman yun. So, this is really a gray area that, the trolls, the Tuning is treading right now. To be able
Or is
to,
it a deliberate gray area? I mean, just I want to come back to, like basically 2 points here, no? Una, is this a credible person we're talking about? This person bring it out. Is this person known to be fair and objective per se? Or fair and objective, especially when it comes to people like Riza Ontiveros who are progressive and seem to have a very different ideological predisposition than this certain journalist. But more than that, there is insertion and there is insertion, right? There are insertions that could be quote unquote legitimate, and then there are insertions that super dodgy, or at the very least, there's 50 shades of insertion, super dodgy, Discaya level, and then some insertions that maybe you can raise some questions about it, but more or less is de rigueur. Or at the very least, it's not like flood control corruption level. Can we break down those two things? Because we have to real talk this. Chris, you want to add
But
something on that?
I do want to
Go
add
ahead, go ahead.
actually, but there is 700 parang 750 million in flood control. And it has the same traits as the other flood control projects, yung 75 million, 75 million, 75.
Yung suspiciously similar lahat.
Kailangan, I think we have to be consistent. Kailangan ulit-ulitin na natin tayo dito sa panel, no? We never see insertions if it's not. Kapag amendments, which is nadi-debate siya sa Senate floor, nadi-debate siya sa committee, transparent and exposed siya to scrutiny, pwedeng questionin ng ibang senador na hindi, mali ang project na yan, wag na nating pondohan yan, or redundant na yan, wag na yan. That is a proposed amendment. So sabi nga ni Senator Soto, that could be institutional as the Senate as a whole or individual. Merong individual advocacy ang isang senador. So amendments are good. Trabaho actually yan ng isang mambabatas. Kasi ano ba gagawin ng lawmaker? To revise, amend, repeal, or pass a law. So amendments, trabaho yan ng isang senador. Ang insertions, para klaro sa atin bakit masama ang insertions, di ba? Kasi singit, in-insert mo, bakit mo siningit? Walang transparency, walang debate, walang scrutiny, pero nasingit mo. 'Di ba? So nakapasa or nakalusot yung gusto mong gawing quote-unquote kalokohan kasi walang naging scrutiny or debate. So amendments versus insertions, it's up to Senator Risa. I'm sure lahat ng mga pinakita ni Katuning, iniisa-isa na yon ni Senator Risa. Tapos ipapakita niya, hindi ako yan or sa iba yan. Kasi ang question ko din kay Katuning, bakit Risa Ontiveros ang sinasabi niyang proponent nung insertion na yon? How do you prove that? Sa ngayon pa lang, di ba, na nagkaka-issue na tayo sino ang proponent per insertion. But this is unlike Cheese, unlike Joel. Sa kanila, sa mga senators na yon, may district engineer na nagsabi, proponent or insertions yan netong senador. Kay Senator Risa, walang district engineer pa na nagsasabi na proponent or budget ito ni Senator Risa.
Good point. Sorry, medyo I think both I and Chris got the sabotage just as Mark came in. Kamusta, Mark? Happy birthday sa mommy mo. Good to have you here, brother.
Okay naman ito. Yan, no, katabi ko.
Happy birthday, tita.
Thank you.
Back to back pala kay ni Ronald Llamas. Back to back pala kay Sir Ronald. Happy birthday pa.
Oo
Pasensya.
nga, happy birthday, Sec Ronald.
We're stealing away your son. Mark, you want to come in very quickly before I go back for some clarification point? Kasi sayang nakat yung part na nag-real talk si Jess. That's gusto ko makuha yung part na. But Mark, what is your read of suddenly now Riza Ontiveros is at the middle of this? Because to three of us, it looks like a demolition job. No offense to everyone. Maybe not from Katoning, to be fair to him, but clearly the way it's being digested and the way it's being spread and the way it's being spliced dun sa mga nakikita natin ng mga disinformation networks.
Una, yung sa issue ng insertion na. Sa akin, parang gusto ko ilabas na lang lahat eh. What is the reason bakit kailangan nakatago pa yung sa insertion ni ganito? Pera ng taong bayan yan eh. Anong punto na tinatago pa ngayon, di ba? Ngayon parang inakusahan si Risa, inakusahan si ano. Bakit hindi na lang ilabas lahat? Pera naman ng tao. Kung wala namang kalokohan na ginawa dyan, walang reason para itago siya. Pangalawa, nabasa ko din nga doon sa post ni Attorney Jess nung isang araw, mukhang tinatarget nga yung majority eh. Diba, una si Senator Ping, mukhang tinatarget. Ngayon, turn naman ni Senator Risa, mukhang iniisa-isa sila. At obviously mukhang demolition job black ops talaga itong ginagawa. Baka it's part of a larger strategy. And sumabay pa doon sa talks ng another Senate coup. Marami nang tinatamaan eh. Yun ang problema eh. Marami na masyadong senador yung tinatamaan. Tapos dahil umabot na doon sa mga senador na pinangalanan, baka susunod yung ibang senador naman. So, marami na kinakabahan eh. Pero mas maganda na yung ganyan kaysa naman nagtatakipan, di ba? Ipakita na lahat.
Very good point. Very good point. Balikan kita, Chris, ulit, kasi I didn't also ask you the question. I mean, is the medium is the message, right? Is the person bringing this out known for credible journalism and all of that, or investigative journal? Hindi siya PCIJ for sure, hindi siya New York Times, but is this person known for that? But also on what the excellent point Mark raised, which is ilabas mo na lahat, but that could also be the reason na mag-collapse itong new ruling coalition, right? Because JV was very clear, di ba? I think one of the points that Jay was raising is that is feeling niya yung there's no center of gravity, sumasabog na itong issue na to, and baka kung i-release talaga yung buo, as Mark correctly pointed out from an ethical point of view, politically the whole thing will collapse. And then good luck na lang sa atin saan tayo papunta dyan. Do you get what I'm like? Ang hirap na to. Oh my God, this is what I saw. I saw this coming. This day was gonna come. Oh my God.
Pero alam mo, ako may natatangan na yung JV mo, kasi pag tinignan mo, um, it actually is almost a veiled warning, I guess, warning to Senator Lacson na pag tinuloy ito, pwede na kumalas yung mga yan papunta sa DDS, sa mga helpers. Although he did deny that they were thinking of just going independent. Big nun. But at the same time, I think it's almost saying na parang parang mismo kami kaagad mo, gaganyan mo. It will affect national
Wait,
transparency,
Chris, is it
accountability.
me or are we hearing Chris clearly? Is it me or Chris, parang may connection issue kaya ata. Parang
Reconnect ka, Brother Chris. So,
I think there's a connection issue. You wanna fix that and then come back to us. I'll go to Jess again. Sorry about that, Chris. I was wondering if it's on my side. Jess, you wanna go back again and repeat that part? Kasi also Mark just joined us and also hindi natin na-catch kanina. Sorry, this is looking like para mga journalist na apat na live feed. But no, I mean, if the medium is the message, the timing is suspicious, right? But is the medium also legitimate in this case, to be honest about it? And just if you could just summarize again for people, what are the 50 shades of insertion we're talking about? Sorry about this. While Chris is figuring
yeah.
out his side, yeah.
All right. So first of all, who is the messenger, 'di ba? Of course, the message is more important. Pero if the messenger is not credible, then how reliable or how trustworthy is the message to begin with? Si Anthony Taberna naman, to be fair to him, is known to be a hard-hitting journalist. We should give him that. Pero in terms of investigative journalism or yung mga expose, wala masyado tayong alam na yun yung reputation ni Anthony Taberna because you have Verifiles, you have PCIJ, you have Rappler, na meron talagang mga exclusive or mga documentary or mga investigative reports na talagang detalyado, talagang mabusisi, yung hindi ka ma-question sa may resibo, saan galing yung ebidensya, 'di ba? Tsaka ano ba yung buong kwento. Pag pinakain ka na ng PCIG at ng Rappler, buong kwento na yan. Ito kasi kaya Anthony Taberna, naglabas siya ng listahan. Hindi niya sinasagot saan niya nakuha, sino ang source. Paano niya malalaman na si Senator Risa ang budget proponent no na nakalagay, Risa Ontiveros, kung hindi naman natin alam kung sino yung source. Bakit meron ng summary na 3 billion yung total ng projects, no? So, in terms of credibility, madami pang kakaining bigas, unfortunately. And ako, hindi ko sinasabi credible ako, ha? Pero, pareho kami ni Anthony Taberna. Madami pa siyang...
This is a very privileged information kasi kaya we're wondering, ano ba to, di ba? This is a very important information kasi. It's not about whether magaling siyang journalism or hindi.
The source itself or the document itself is suspicious, meaning he needs to explain more. We're not saying it's wrong. We're not saying it's false. Diba? We're saying we need to know more because it seems selective or it seems dubious na yun lang yung kwento.
Before saying much, Chris, you want to check your sound or I'll go to Mark muna?
I'll check my sound. How does it sound now?
It's still cutting. I wonder why.
Wala.
Oh, shucks.
I wonder if I close my Zoom kung ma-affect mo yung live stream mo hindi. Yun lang tama.
Yeah. You wanna redo it na lang if ganon?
Sige, go ahead. You guys go ahead.
Sige.
I'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Or it might be your microphone. Parang ano siya choppy.
Yeah, baka yung microphone.
Okay,
oh, kasi your visual is good. Your visual is good. Mark, can I go to you meanwhile? Mark, again, I mean, yung tanong ko nga, baka kung ilabas lahat, yung katulad ng sinasabi mo, which is correct, baka sasabog lahat ito. In terms of, like the whole Senate will not hold. Clearly, the current majority will die. But I just don't know where we're gonna go after this, and maybe that will bring us to even a more dangerous situation. So I agree with you ethically, normatively, but politically, I'm wondering like if this is even feasible given the conditions.
Yun nga eh. Gusto ko lang din magsabi doon kay Senator Risa and yung kay Tunying. Siyempre, kung atakihin lang natin si Tunying, sasabihin nila, kaya nyo sinisiraan si Tunying, tinatago si Risa, may tinatago si Risa. Sa akin, very clear lang naman eh. May insertion ba o wala? It's one or the other eh, di ba? Very klaro naman yun eh. Sa akin nga, ang iniisip ko nga, baka mas maganda para once and for all masettle tong issue na to. Si Senator Risa, pumunta siya dun sa studio nila Tunying. I-explain niya isa-isa ano ba yung nakita nyo? Ano ba tong listahan na to? Itong listahan na to, ganun-ganon. Kasi like I said, yung sa kampo ng PDS, they only need a sliver of truth eh. Para to run with an issue. 'Di ba? They don't wala na silang pakialam sa mga explanation or mga nuance na kung ano mang kung ano talaga yung nasa papel na yon. 'Di ba? Maganda sana harapin na niya. 'Di ba? Si Tunying naman ano naman 'yan. Alam, tirador din yang si Katunying pero patas naman, 'di ba? Pag hinarap mo naman, pag inano mo na explain mo naman, I mean makikinig naman doon sa kabilang side. If hingi ni Senator Risa. So I think that's the best way to take this head on. Sinabi niya, I believe her when she said na wala akong insertion na ganyan. Harapin na niya, pumunta na siya doon sa studio nila Tunying, sila mismo magharapan. That's the only way to quash this issue. Wala tayong magagawa, tinrabaho siya, may black ops na inano sa kanya. Uh, Face this issue head on. Ganun lang kadali. Siguro ang gusto yata ng mga senador, meron munang maanong congressman. O kapag ba meron ng mga nilabas sa mga congressman, pwede na nating tingnan yung insertion. Baka ganun lang yung gusto nila. Kasi bakit daw sila inuuna? Parang ganun eh. Ba't kami inuunan nyo? Mas malaki kinita nung ano. Sa inyo mas maliit lang kaya dapat mahuli kayo. Parang ganun
Yun nga, like
yung issue
we
yata.
might. By the way, I mean just to be clear, all we're saying is that we're just skeptical. But if ever it's true na there's an insertion by all of the senators, then talaga mahabang usapan yan, no? I mean, just for the sake of argument, let's say, okay, I mean, we already said it. The fact na bakit si Rizal Ontiveros lang single out, bakit yun lang na-highlight, that already raises big questions. Not to mention, let's be honest about it, Riza and Katoning are not necessarily on the same side of the political spectrum. I think let's just be honest about it without casting aspersions on anyone's integrity. But at the same time, Jez, I mean, if this were true, sabihin natin for the sake of argument, legit to mga numero na yan. Are we gonna go down this road of, kami million lang, kayo nga billion eh. Or kami billion pesos, kayo $1 billion. You get what I'm saying? Like, this could go down a very dangerous path. Di ba? Yung mga whataboutism na yan. Although, as Mark correctly pointed out, nuance matters in these issues.
Yeah. And the nuance there nga is it an amendment? Meaning, was it done before the BICAM? Because alam mo naman, Richard, ang pinaka-issue ng mga tao ngayon, tsaka kahit yung mga maiingay, like si Toby Chanco, si Naungap, yung mga nag-question kay Speaker Martin, kay Zaldico, and even kay Senator Cheese, no, when he was Senate President, yung mga sinasabing insertions nila, lahat yon yung 142 billion budget insertion ni Cheese was from the BICAM and after the BICAM. Because, ano yan democratic debate yan, di ba, Richard? Meron tayong Senate, meron tayong House, lower house, upper house. We're only supposed to have two houses of Congress. But the BICAM, as we know as political analysts, is now de facto the third and highest chamber na parang it can overrule or supplant the Senate and the House. Kung anong gusto ng BICAM or even after the BICAM may small committee, yun yung nasusunod. So that's undemocratic. Yun yung problematic insertions. So if you're talking about insertions before the BICAM, that is democratic. May debate yon, may transparency, may scrutiny. Ang tawag doon, amendments. Pero kapag nag-insert ka during and after BICAM, yun yung mas questionable. But even then, even then, no, let's be fair, kahit may insertions ka during or after BICAM, what we know so far, like kay Zaldico, generally questionable yung mga projects sa Bulacan and program funds, etc. Pero pwede din namang hindi siya ghost project. Pwede din namang walang SOP kung na-implement talaga yung project ng tama. It's just that, so far, halos lahat ng mga lumalabas, pag insertion siya after the BICAM or unprogrammed funds, ghost project or substandard siya.
Pero so far, no, and correct me, Chris and Jez and Mark, categorical yata ang position ni Risa na walang insertions, no? But Jez, again, and correct me both of you, I didn't watch the whole...
Let's clarify that, right? Categorical si Risa na wala siyang BICAM insertion or wala siyang unprogrammed funds, yung parang pork barrel ng presidente. So ang sinasabi niya, by implication, no, hindi niya kina-clarify pa, hindi pa niya in-explain further. By implication, meron siyang insertions before the BICAM, which ang term dapat nga natin is amendments. Yes.
Which is amendments. Okay, which is where I come from. Again, to be fair to Katoning, since I didn't watch the whole video and all of that, did he explain it that way? Did he explain that there are different types of insertions? Was there I would say, parang SOP caveats and explanation? Because for me, that's where you know if someone is doing a legit job or not. If you're talking about a highly technical and nuanced and consequential issue na pwede ma-misunderstood, the least you can do as a legit journalist is to say, ito yung mga shades of gray or black and white. Ito yung nakikita natin, ito yung alam natin, ito yung hindi natin alam. Aside from also kind of proving na legit yung sources mo. Was that effort made? Chris, you're back. Hopefully your audio is good. Was that effort
Yeah, I
made,
hope.
Chris? Yeah, you're good. Fantastic. Yes.
Oh, perfect.
How do you assess the video itself by Katoning?
Yeah, I actually watched the whole live stream, and hindi niya binanggit yung difference nung BICAM insertion. Para sa kanya, insertion. So, it was a little bit of medyo dishonest yung pagre-report niya, or maybe he was
Kasi he
ignorant
just
of that.
didn't know. Baka hindi niya lang
Yeah,
alam.
but then again, I think he should have known if you're going to come up with information like that. Yun lang. So, lumalabas dito na medyo ignorante yung pagkadating niya, yung sinabi niya na basta insertion. And those line items, again, could be as simple as an amendment. It may not even be an insertion to begin with. And ang ini-issue talaga natin dito, and remember this is for everyone na nagkaroon ng issue, is because of the BICAM insertions that were not approved by the Senate or Congress. That was done after the fact. Yun yung issue eh. Hindi yung nasa plenary eh. Hindi yung out in the open nila, live stream pinag-uusapan, hindi yun yung problema eh. So, and Risa is very careful to say that I did not put any BICAM insertions, and nor did I put any insertions in the unprogrammed appropriations. So yun. So I think
sloppy.
that's where...
So at the very least, it's sloppy. So to be fair,
It is.
it's not sensationalist or disinformation. It's sloppy because he didn't give all of those nuances.
Again, sabihin na nga natin hindi niya alam. Pero para sa akin ang dating is sabihin mo nang it's sloppy, it's lazy, or it's intentional. Parang all I want to do is sow doubt. That's it. Like the PhilHealth issue. It is so wrong how they were spreading it. Ang layo talaga nung timeline, pero people don't care about the details like that. Basta may issue, they stick to it na eh. Yun ang nakakatawa eh. Kahit talagang ang bilis naman i-debunk yung mga ganyang issue. This is pretty much the same thing if you think about it eh.
Na yun nga eh. That's a very good clarification. So, that's my thing. Let's say for the sake of argument, Chris, sabihin natin lahat ng information na ito ay legit. Na talagang lahat ng, or in-imply kasi hindi nga na-clarify, totoo. Then where does that put us? Kasi sabi ko, you also don't want to be in a situation, kami million lang, kayo billion, or kami billion pesos.
Oh, no, yeah.
Diba? You don't want to go down that road too. Kaya sabi natin, kung may legit na mali nangyari, we're gonna point out, we don't care sino to. We don't care sino senator to. Let's be clear, we support senators when based on evidence, we know they're not bad people, right? But the moment
Yep.
there's a contrary evidence, we're happy to change our view. I mean, Chris, you and I were critical of Marcos on many issues. When he didn't show too bad on certain issues, then we gave him credit where credit is due, di ba? Ganun lang naman tayo. I think that's what people don't understand. Yun yung difference. So
Yep.
we
And
may have certain preferences na gusto natin maging first world na matinong maayos ang bansa natin. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's evidence-based. It's evidence-based. So,
yep.
where do you see, Chris, for the sake of argument, sabi natin, lahat ng mga paratang dito ay supposedly may basihan, legit. Then where does that take us?
When you say legit, you're saying that there was an insertion that happened. So you're
Including during
saying that,
BICAM. Although, again, you watched the full video better than me. It was the
yeah.
implication that these insertions happened during BICAM. And then I saw also flood control. Are these
Yes.
those flood control projects? Parang ganun ang ano nakikita ko
Ala,
ini-implement ng mga trolls eh.
yun. So, the important thing is, makita natin kung kailangan, like say, for example, totoong na-insert nga itong mga to. So, let's start with that. Once you know it's inserted, the next question is, was there any corruption? Was there any kickbacks? Was the project substandard? Was it even completed? Check natin lahat yon. And if all of those check out and nothing happened like that, then there's no problem. Pero let's say lumalabas the contractor has evidence na biglang nagbigay nga siya ng kickback, dinala sa opisina ni Senriza at ito ang tao na binigyan. Then let the investigation take it where it will. And then we go from there. Yun lang naman yan ganun kasimple. And for me, corrupt is corrupt if that's the truth. But I reserve judgment until I see better evidence that will surface. At this point kasi again, it's just Katuning showing a piece of paper that I don't know what it is, and he said Senate records lang yon without any indication of what it may be. And again, it looks like it was collated and compiled specifically to be able to present to media.
Yun nga, I'm just showing to people na hindi tayo kulto dito, di ba? Unlike certain vloggers, they will just never accept any evidence. Parang confirmation bias, di ba? Parang mag-ano lang sila, cognitive entrenchment. They'll only look at anything that supports their political position. What I'm just trying to remind people is that if indeed people that we support because we think they're good, if indeed there's any evidence to suggest otherwise, we will adjust our position and assessment otherwise. Diba? When facts change, we change our
Yeah.
minds. Diba? Ganun lang I'm just reminding people. But absolutely, you're Chris, right? At this point in time, I'm sorry talaga, nakakataas kilay lang ang mga ganito, mga expose na to. Diba, Falsi, since you have the thickest eyebrows among us, diba nakakataas kilay?
Gusto ko din
Ano na pala
mag-note
si
lang
Mark?
din
Ano na pala si Mark?
Ayun, oo.
Mark,
Hindi, gusto ko
ikaw
lang,
muna,
yung
habang
panahon ngayon,
tumataas line
the
namin.
time right now, dahil sobrang gulo, lahat ng lumalabas, eh, sa paniwala ko, isa PR attack. Lahat kanya-kanyang PR attack na yan.
Mm.
Kasi lahat inaatake.
Yep.
Lahat delikado. Lahat pwedeng makasuhan, pwedeng matanggal. So, labasan na ng so lahat ng nangyayari nating atake ngayon, whether sa side natin, sa side ng kabila, sa ibang tingin ko may gumaganang pere para iusog yung atensyon, para kasi maraming pwedeng mabunyag maraming pwedeng mas sumabit Tapos idagdag mo pa yung destabilization pa na nangyayari din ngayon. So tingin ko walang nagkakataon lang. Lahat ng lumalabas, lahat ng nakikita natin
Yes, not by
is
coincidence.
Oo, isa black ops. Kumbaga, umuulan ng black ops ngayon. Because everyone is trying to save their own skin. Everyone is trying to protect their own house or protect their own family. So kanya-kanya silang labasan, kanya-kanyang tirahan. Parang may scandal dito o gumawa tayo may mas malaking scandal dito para maano yung atensyon o tapos mas
Divert.
malaking scandal dito o ngayon naman mga bilyar naman mga bilyar masasama ang pinakamasama o hindi ito si Romualdez yan ang pinakamasama o ngayon sila Cheese parang ganun yung nangyayari which is sa akin okay din naman kasi kaysa nagtatakipan sila pero syempre, dapat maging maingat tayo and maging aware tayo doon sa nangyayari. Kasi everyone is, kumaga, kinakabahan ngayon kasi And ngayong araw ba, ako ba yung magiging target? Ngayon ba ako ba yung papangalanan ng mga diskaya? Ngayon ba ako papangalanan nitong DPWH? So everyone is scared right now. As they should be. Gusto ko lang i-note lang din naiinis lang din ako. Itong mga projects ng DPWH, parang hirap na hirap tayong malaman lahat. Isa-isang lumalabas, isa-isang tapos meron palang pinasok na ganito. Hindi ba pwedeng bago nila aproban yung budget, ipakita muna sa tao lahat ng gagawin nila? Bago mapirmahan, para makita ng mga taga Pampanga, ito lahat ng proyekto nyo. Makita ng mga taga Bulacan, ito lahat ng proyekto nyo. Para pwede silang magreklamo. Hindi yung magugulat na lang tayo, ginagawa na pala dito, ginagawa na pala dyan sa meron anong system yon, yung Phil Jeps ba yon? Yun dapat, para makita ng tao kung ano yung mga projects na mangyayari sa probinsya nila that will affect their lives. Hindi yung magugulat na lang tayo, may pinasok na pala si ganitong congressman. Hindi, kumbaga, late na tayo nakaka-react eh. Mas maganda, bago pa nila gawin yung proyekto, makareact na yung mga tao doon sa mga gagawin nila.
Yeah.
Excellent point. Parang ikaw ang favorite ko ngayon, Mark. Ikaw ang pinaka nag-real talk sa amin. Hindi ko lang dahil yung iba sa amin, medyo ingat kami, puro kaming caveats. Si Mark, hindi, talaga Black Ops yan. Wala na siya, nag-Ronald vibes. Ikaw, Chris, what should we do? Honestly, what should we do? What should we do? As responsible.
At this point, what should we do?
Yeah,
first, hold judgment. Huwag ka munang don't
withhold
jump to
judgment.
conclusions. That's the first thing you do. Don't jump to conclusions, number one. Number two, relax lang tayong lahat. Again, the truth will eventually come out. And tama si Mark, it's all a black ops. There's a lot of puppet masters that are pulling the strings. At ang audience ay tayong taong bayan. Tayo ang audience ng mga puppet masters na to. Kaya mag-ingat tayo. Kailangan matalas tayo mag-isip. Yan ang ating sandata laban sa mga disinformation, fake news, propaganda. So yun lang yun. And at the end of the day, I really believe naman na the truth is the truth will come out no matter what it is. At kailangan lang talaga nating mag-isip ng maayos at huwag tayo masyadong nag-reactive or knee-jerk reactions. Yun lang yun.
Absolutely. Ikaw, Jess, what should we do? Obviously, I think we all can agree na so far taas kilay lang reaction natin dito. Like, ang daming butas, ang daming kulang. At the most I can say is sloppy journalism yan because walang contextualization of lahat ng sinasabi mo, different kinds of insertions. Not to mention, like, okay, so my flood control project, did we investigate if this were also ghost projects or like ang daming kulang, ang daming butas. So I think the least I can say is I would definitely withhold judgment on accusations against Riza, but I'm not gonna withhold judgment from what I see as sloppy journalism, to be honest about it, at the very least. Yeah.
Well, we have survived. Pero nabago din tayo ng information disinformation culture nung panahon ni Duterte, di ba? So we've learned a bit to be more vigilant, to be more fact-checking sa ngayon. Pero kulang pa din yun kasi tayo as ordinary citizens, kahit vlogger, kahit podcast, kahit madalas tayo mag-post and mag-fact-check, at the end of the day, hindi siya enough to penetrate yung echo chamber of disinformation unless there are real consequences to spreading disinformation. Assuming na talagang disinformation siya, kasi nga, again, Anthony Taberna can redeem himself naman, baka meron talaga siyang source, talagang babangga sa GAA yung pinapakita niya, etc. Pero kailangan niyang patunayan. So, to do that, kailangan, I think si Senator Risa, kailangan mas may pangil yung kanyang mga actions here, no? More than us, magpa-file siya dapat ng complaint sa KBP. So hindi lahat kailangan batas pero first ethics complaint sa KBP because hindi tinanong yung side niya bago nag-air bago in-air yung ganong information, and then yun nga, sino yung source, etc. So pwedeng unethical yun under journalist standards kasi if I remember correctly, nasa isang radio show sila ni Sir Jerry Baha, si Anthony Taberna at Jerry Baha. The second is, syempre, Senator Risa can contemplate on filing a cyber libel complaint pero she needs to do her own due diligence. Baka naman, hindi talaga totoo yung listahan na yun. So kung hindi totoo yung listahan na yun, mas lalakas yung kaso ni Senator Risa. The other is just more explanation from Senator Risa, no, detailed, para masupalpal. Pero kailangan yung ano ni Senator Risa, yung ano talaga na parang propaganda style din, supalpal si Anthony
Choice.
Taberna at yung ginagawa ni Marcoleta na mga title na nabara ni Marcoleta si ganyan, na supalpal ganon. Basta
Clickbait.
ilabas ni clickbait, talagang massive sensationalist headlines, basta merong butil ng katotohanan. So basta ma-research ni Senator Risa na mali lahat ng mga sinasabi ni Taberna, isampal ni Senator Risa ang katotohanan kay Anthony Taberna.
So basically, Jess, and I want to also get Chris and Mark's opinion. So you think Risa should go na on the offensive? Kasi 10 taon nang ginagawa ng mga troll farm system. I'm not talking about Anthony Taberna. I'm just saying about people who are twisting yung itong latest supposed expose by Taberna. They're clearly making disinformation out of these libelous, salacious ones. So what they're saying is Risa should go on the offensive na. Is that what you're saying? Maybe this is the time. There's no kaysa maghintay ka na lang for more of these black ops or supposed black ops to happen, just go on the offensive na as early as now and draw the line.
Yes, kasi sa ngayon pa lang, di ba, yung PhilHealth Queen o yung mga ganong disinformation, it still survives eh. So dapat talaga patayin at its core etong mga disinformation or fake news. And you can't do that if walang consequences. If walang consequences, makikita ng iba, okay lang, I can just keep on posting, sharing, liking, and saying whatever I want. So kailangan may consequences. It doesn't have to be criminal, yung cyber libel or libel, that can also be civil. That can also be damages. So di ba, may mga iba nagpa-file 1 billion in damages. Dapat ipakita ni Senator Risa there are consequences to misinformation or to fake news.
Or sloppy journalism na ayusin nyo naman. So, kaya nga tama yung sinabi,
Definitely.
mag-complain. Mag-complain. Sana naman, medyo due diligence, mga ganyan lang, mga basic lang. Chris, do you think we're already in the middle of a civil war in a way, right? In many, ang gulo na to eh. I mean, Marcos opened up the Pandora's box. This is what I've been warning since the other month. The moment binuksan itong issue ng corruption in a country where corruption is systematic in the political system, talagang papunta na tayo sa exciting part. So I think we're already there. Just the other day, you were with Ronald. I was also with Ronald. We discussed yung destabilization plot, the military, General Bronner had to come out. Let's be honest, andito na tayo. Nasa gitna na tayo ng gulo eh. Kaya nga, if you're the good guys or good people or good girls or whatever, like what should we do, the good people supposedly, yung mga responsible citizens, aside from using our critical thinking, ano bang dapat natin gawin? Should we have a legal defense, legal offense? Should we also make our troll farms? No, I'm just kidding. Like, what are we gonna do right now? Kasi, alam naman natin saan papunta to eh.
Alam mo,
Diversion, distraction, destruction, right? Yun ang gagawin nila eh.
yeah, at this point, there are only well, I'll tell you that I already told this option before. There's the nuclear option. Yan yung revolution. That's the last resort. Okay? I hope we do not go there. And that's not what I want. And when I say total nuclear option, not having Sara as the successor, literally wipe out the entire government and start from scratch. Ganong nuclear option. And I hope we do
Sort
not
of,
get
but
there.
tactical nuclear, can we go like, I don't know, like, ano lang, normal na bomba? I'm just kidding. Like, okay, let's not go yung
Well,
mga French Revolution muna. Let's just stick to the,
yeah.
like, no, I mean, like, what do you think should happen next? Kasi, I just don't see this dying down. Lahat sasakyan nila
At,
sa issue na to eh.
Yeah, alam mo, right now, yung ginawa naman ni BBM, for me, it's still admirable kasi he knows that he's practically burning the entire house down by what he did. I think that was strategic. I think that may plano naman siya in the end. He knew that once inopen up niya to, kaalyado niya, kalaban, kahit sino, everyone's gonna be every man and woman for themselves ang mangyayari dito. Now, ito yung idadagdag natin na what the Senate and Congress have done, and Congress has done it already, is they've actually stopped the hearings, the hearings on flood control, and now the Senate has stopped it na rin. Tinigil na. As of a few hours ago, they said they're not going to continue
Interesting.
with the flood control hearings.
Interesting.
And I really think this was because of all the senators pressuring the Blue Ribbon Committee na, uy, ano ba yan? Nadadamay na tayong lahat. And if they continue that path, baka bumalik to sa mga Duterte senators natin. And where we're not going to get any transparency whatsoever, it'll turn into a witch hunt. Now, the best option is to let the ICI do their work. Kasi nga, at the end of the day, I never really agreed with the hearings from Congress and Senate because it's like trying yourself. Ikaw may kasalanan, ikaw pang nakaupo doon. Nakita mo yung time na, di ba, si Chisa Escudero, si Joel Villanueva, o si Jinggoy, para pa silang yung hukom na nag-i-interrogate sa mga resource people na pero sila yung binibintangan ang hirap nun So mas maganda ko sa ICI yan and let the wheels of justice take its course. Ang problem mo lang is wala pa tayong ombudsman. Wala pang bagong ombudsman, di ba? So, yun pa yung isa. Tapos, ngayon, pag magre-resign na as DOJ Secretary si Remulla, kasi nga, baka nga maging ombudsman.
Sino mag-step
So,
up?
parang nakahang din yung sa trabaho ng DOJ. So, there's a lot of moving parts here. Plus, don't forget, there's also a lot of other issues that are hanging na nakakalimutan na natin ang dami. So, as citizens, we have to just keep talking about these things. Maybe we need to file cases as private citizens. And I think maybe attorney can fill us in on this because I'm not sure ano bang pwedeng gawin ng mga citizens to file a case as private citizens against these politicians, whether it's
So, anong take mo dun
impeachment.
sa Attorney Asaron ba yung sa ethics complaint na yan? Like, what do you think about that, Chris? So you already have some
Oh,
citizens taking matters into their own hands legally.
well, the ethics complaint for me, which ethics complaint are you talking about? Kay Risa or yung kay Cheese?
Kay Cheese.
Yung kay Cheese, okay. For me, there's basis for that. Nabanggit yung pangalan na niya several times. Hindi lang nabanggit, may pinakitang mga ebidensya. And it was very clear that he did, and he did admit that he took the 30 million. He was just trying to find a way to explain why it's not unethical or illegal. But according to the law, even the COMELEC says, bawal yan. The problem is, everyone else did it. Bongbong Marcos, Sara Duterte, all the others, ang dami niyan, yung mga top names na yan. The difference is, pwede ito yung the difference. Flood control project ba yung nakuha nung nag-donate at nakinabang ba yung nag-donate at mapuprove ba na nakinabang? Yung kay Chisa Escudero, napatunayan because it went from a few hundred million to several billion. I think from under 1 billion to 15 billion right after na nanalo si Chisa Escudero. So that's very clear that there's a conflict there and that there was somebody who benefited. In the case of Sara Duterte, apparently, meron din because it was 2.9 billion ang nakuha or 3 billion na nakuha nung contractor that funded her campaign. So kay BBM, I don't know if there is that case. So we need to find out if that contractor actually benefited and how many projects did they get after BBM won. So mga ganon. So that's where we're at. That's the hard part.
It is very hard. Yun nga, it is very hard part. So, wow.
May note din ako, Richard.
Please, Mark, please.
Oh, yun. Yun sa mga tanong mo din. Una doon sa destabilization na. Tapos punta tayo doon sa anong pwedeng gawin ng tao for this corruption issue. Yung sa destabilization, may napansin ako si Kiko Barzaga, naglabas ng video kanina. Parang ano niya parang kung ano man mangyari sa akin, tatanggalin na ako. Yan, we should oust Marcos, may mga ganong nilabas. May napansin ako sa video niya, nakapareho din dun sa mga sinasabi ni Chavit Singson, na I find very, teka muna, ba't ganun? Kasama doon sa flood control na mga issue na nilalabas niya is the issue with the China. Parang anong connect nung issue ng flood control, corruption nila Romualdez, Saldico, ipapasok mo, sige bo, we are nearing a war with China. Anong connection nun? Iniisip ko din, kay Chavit ganun din. Napapaisip tuloy ako, ito kaya yung sinasabi nila na posibleng international fina-fund yung destabilization dito kay Marcos. Kasi it's one thing lang kung galit ka sa korupsyon, galit tayo sa korupsyon, nagrarally tayo, gusto natin makulong si ganito, gusto natin makulong si lahat ng ganon. Tapos ipapasok mo yung issue ng ganon, ng, ng you are nearing us to a war with China. Teka, baka doon nanggagaling yung pondo para doon sa mga destabilization.
But bro, you
Pero
talk about
anyway,
even
yun yung
contractors eh. But di ba you said baka even mga contractors baka possibly involved. I was just talking to someone from Nepal here dito sa Oxford the other day. Mga dokumentos niya muntik na sunog bago siya pumunta dito sa UK. Ang sabi niya, yung maraming mga corrupt na politician dahil takot silang ma-investigate, sinakyan nila yung gulo ng mga kabataan, nagpadala ng sarili nila mga jejemon na gangsters, kaya sinunog
sila
nila
nagsunog.
yung Supreme Court and Parliament. Ba't yung mga ordinaryo daw ng mga clerk offices, sinusunog daw nila. So,
Sinunog din
ang
para
alam
to
nila
save
yan,
their ano, no?
sinunog yung documentos, exactly. So, yun ang problema.
Yun,
Eh. Once you open-
ginagawa din nga sa atin. Sa atin wala. So, yun yung una kung sa destabilization. Will they succeed? Tingin ko hindi. Sa military and sa ano, okay lahat eh. Everything is in check. Mukhang malabo yung gusto nila mangyari. Pero Marcos needs to take a harder stand. Yung mga nagpaplano ng kudeta, kasuhan naman niya. Parang ang hina kasi. Pero yun, with that being said, anong pwede natin gawin? Sa akin kasi, tingnan mo yung kay Napoles. It's been 12 years ba? Ngayon pa lang merong hatol yung korte. Tagal ah. Diba? So
Yeah.
malamang yung dito, baka ganun din mangyari. Ang pinakapunto ko siguro, tuloy-tuloy naman to eh. Lalabas at lalabas yung mga issue, yung mga corruption. Pero ang pinaka-importante, who will win in 2028? Kasi nakita mo na eh, nung pumunta si Sara sa Senado, sinong dumikit sa kanya? Si Joel Villanueva, si Jinggoy, si Cheese, nagpakitang gilas pa doon sa ano. So, walang nakukulong eh. So napaka-importante na sa 2028, yung i-elect natin na presidente is anti-corruption talaga. Kasi kung hindi na naman, kung kasama na naman ng ano na magtatakip doon sa mga bali wala lahat ng gagawin nating anti-corruption efforts ngayon. Lahat ng mga kaso ngayon, ang makukulong lang puro DPWH, yung mga diskaya pero walang
Mm.
politikong makukulong. Ganun na naman, parehong same cycle.
But Mark, I want
Tapos
to ask
lalabas
you,
yung mga conviction nila Diskaya 10 years from now.
I want to ask, oh, by the way, people forget on the same day that Nancy, a lawyer friend of mine was just, on the day that Nancy faced parang travel restrictions and asset freeze, yung dad niya, si Jejomar, was vindicated from all of the accusations against him almost exactly 9 years ago. So, I mean, this is our justice system, to put it mildly. I mean, and no one even bothered to pay attention to. You remember, Chris, di ba? Frontline page yun, and nung 2015, actually 10 years ago, yung supposed mansion down ni Jejo Moore, lahat ganun. I mean, you could say some people were interested in bringing Jejo Moore down because he was the front runner up until January 2016 in Pulse Asia. But at the same time, I mean, it didn't look like to me fake news. Eh. Like, I mean, there was so much going on there. And then people forgot about it, right? Like, no one is following Jejo Moore Be Nice case, right? I don't think
Well,
anyone's even following Nancy Be Nice accusations against.
well, yung kay Judge Omar Binay at yung kay Junjun Binay, the acquittal did come out in the news. Unfortunately,
But did
natabunan
anyone pay
ng
attention? Like, I didn't see a
because of the
single
flood
vlogger.
control. Because the flood control issue was taking front and center. So, nakakalimutan ng tao talaga na, teka lang, ang weird lang nung nangyari doon because pag nakita mo yung ruling, actually, I want to read the whole ruling. I haven't seen it and they haven't publicized it eh. Pero sinasabi nila parang wala daw documentary evidence to support na may nangyaring katiwalian and corruption dito sa pagpapatayo ng parking building at I don't know, is it the hospital or whatever? And the irony is, Judge Omar Binay, the son, and all the top officials in Makati, all of them were acquitted. I'm like, really? There's an overpriced building, substandard, and you're telling me
Yeah,
nobody is
dude,
guilty?
nakakataas kilay. Yeah, exactly.
So, who did it? Oh my God! Every official in Makati was acquitted. Wow, a ghost must have done this. Siguro yun na nagawa ng overprice because hindi daw sinabinay. Oh, come on. So, that's the problem with our justice system. That's why I'm saying this corruption is not just in the executive department, is not just in the legislative department, it is also in the judicial branch. At yun yung problema. Lahat na lang corrupt. Anong gagawin natin? And I blame us, the voters, because we keep voting the same corrupt people every single freaking time.
We
Pambihira naman
don't
kung
follow
na
through.
boboto mo
We
pa.
don't follow through, di ba? Like, nakakatakot yung sinabi mo, di ba? Yes, technically na-cover siya, but walang pumansin kasi may bagong scandal na naman. So what if, let's say, 10 years from now, may mas malaki pang scandal sa flood control scandal, and then biglang mapawalang sala yung mga, sabi natin, robust cases against... So, yeah, actually, kasalanan din natin na hindi lang sa during election, hindi tayo bumoboto ng tama, let's just put it that, or hindi natin sinuportahan ng sapat yung mga tamang mga kandidato. I would put it rather that way, no? I think good candidates, including people like you, Chris, deserve 100 times more support, given what you're bringing to the table. But more than that, I would say
Last
also,
time, tumalakad
Mark,
ka pa sa
naka, ano kay,
Tirol.
Mark, yung mami mo, narinig namin. Mark.
You were saying,
Richard.
Richard.
But the other thing is that hindi rin natin binibigyan ng pansin yung mga kalokohan na nangyari in between elections. Include, like for instance, are we keeping updated with yung mga rulings dun sa mga ill-gotten wealth issue? Are we keeping, you know what I'm saying? Alam ko overwhelming siya, pero change comes with follow-through eh. Para, di ba, I mean, Chris, you know, you're a motivational coach also. You're not gonna get that muscle with just like 2, 3 weeks of, oy, magbuburakay na ako, ayusin ko yan. And then if you're back to junk food and all, that's not healthy. You're just gonna get for the gram good pigs in Boracay, and then you're gonna look like crap for the rest of the year. That's not healthy lifestyle. So not only do we get that Boracay trip wrong, meaning hindi ka nag-diet na mabuti for your Boracay look. After Boracay, wala na tayong pake until the next Boracay trip. Like, it's just to, di ba parang ganun eh. Democracy is about responsibility and discipline and constant focus and investment in our institution. Kaya ako natutuwa ako sa ginagawa natin, pare, kasi dahil dito napipilitan tayo bigyan ng pansin lahat ng mga developments sa ginawa na natin career to eh, pare, di ba? So that's where I'm
Yun na
coming
nga
from,
eh.
Chris. That's where I'm coming from, Chris.
Pero ano, Richard, so I'll add to that, ano, na the thing is, I did notice nga that the population, mga taong bayan natin are now more politically invested, more than ever. Because you did see the rise in different vlogs, podcasts, topics, shows like this, where we dissect politics and people listen. Dati hindi nangyayari to eh. So, before 2022, there was only the disinformation, propaganda, and fake news. Ngayon, they're looking for other sources. And what happened nung pinatay ni Duterte ang ABS-CBN? Naghanap ang taong bayan ng ibang source ng information. So what they did by killing ABS was actually democratize now information. And now, Christian Esguerra, product of that demise of ABS, is now a louder voice than ever. We have now started to have a voice. Other vloggers and other podcasters have a voice. TikTokers, sina Gabe Pineda and all the other people like that are speaking out and they have a voice and people are listening. That's the good thing. And hindi talaga kaya patayin ng katotohanan. Yan ang punto ko dito. At nakikita natin dito that the public is pagod na. Pagod na yung ating public sa kalokohan. And I do believe there is a reckoning that will happen in 2028. I am hopeful and I believe na naniniwala ako sa taong bayan. Naniniwala ako sa kapwa Pilipino na maganda yung mangyayari sa 2028 at yung tamang mahahalal ang mahahalal. Yun ang inaasahan ko. I'm very hopeful. I think that the people have learned, especially seeing what happened in 2025. So let's see where this goes. And I do hope that more people run for public office. Kailangan natin ng mas maraming matitinong tao. And on our part naman, kung sino yung mga matitino, itulak natin yan, i-promote natin yan. Yung mga hindi kilala, tulungan natin. At yun ang kailangan natin gawin.
So you think we'll survive until... Kasi kung maniwala tayo kay Ronald, baka hindi tayo abot until the end of the year yung system natin. I mean, this is, di ba ikaw, Mark, we were just talking about the Binay case. Like, walang pumansin dun sa case na yung acquittal ni Binay eh. Which tells you, baka 10 years from now, kalimutan na yung mga Diskaya and all of this flood control na naman.
And yung sa ano pa nga eh, yung sa granddaddy of ano, yung mga ill-gotten wealth ng
Sandigan Bayan, ang daming kaso na palang...
Kami nakakalusot ngayon, di ba? Ang daming from all their sides.
12 nakalusot this year daw, according to one report. So, yun ang impunity.
So siguro din, na, if we spend that many billions sa flood control, baka we could also put it doon sa justice system natin. Baka mas maraming korte, mas maraming ano, para mas mabilis. Tapos merong isang palakasin yung Sandigan Bayan, or may isa pang ano na para corruption lang. Tapos siguro isang kulungan, doon mo sila itapon lahat ng mga kurakot ng mga government ano. So, yun, may pere, yun ang punto, may pere. Pero instead of wasting it sa mga flood control and ano, siguro use part of that in strengthening yung justice system to make sure na bawat peso na nagagastos doon sa ano, doon sa mga flood control projects and lahat ng projects hindi nakukurakot. And siguro ako ay more pessimistic pa rin sa 2028 eh. Kasi sa nangyari dito sa flood control, ang dami, kumbaga may balik eh. Yung mga kurakot, yung mga korap, they will rally around the candidate na who will protect them eh.
Save
And
them, yeah.
ngayon obvious naman dito, 'di ba? And of course, ngayon mainit yung korupsyon in the next year ano na iibahin na nila yung narrative na. And ang ano eh, ang yun yung nakikita ko eh kasi nagrarally around eh. May balik eh. Syempre yung mga Villar, they are being hunted down now. Yung mga senador. So, yun ang worry ko. I'm more pessimistic about 2028. Medyo kinakabahan din talaga ako. We need a
Right.
winnable candidate talaga
Pero sa tingin
na
mo,
na na
aabot pa tayo sa 20, like, how worried are you with like this getting completely out of control? Hindi naman Nepal situation, but wala pang ilan buwan.
ako hindi.
May coup rumors na,
Ako
nagkagulo
hindi.
sa Menjola.
Mahina eh. Kung yung Minjola, kung yun lang yung quality nung gagawin nila, napakahina nung kanilang ano. And so far sa military, sa ano mukhang kaya naman nila Marcos. Yung aspeto na yun, mukhang kuha nila. Pero yung ibang mga aspeto medyo kulang-kulang. Pero I think Marcos will finish his term. Yung mga ginagawang destabilization ngayon will not succeed. Pero dapat nga tigasan naman nila. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Meron ka namang mga ano
Yeah.
diyan, may mga tools ka naman, gamitin mo naman. Para medyo kabahan naman yung ano, kasi para hindi din tayo kakaba-kaba na merong destabilization. Kasi buong Pilipinas naman magsasuffer eh. Kapag nagtagumpay yung mga destabilization na plano ng mga ginagawa yung mga nanggugulo ngayon.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's very good. So we're going to the last part of our discussion, which is very important, but two elements. First, let's talk about the Diskaya part. Then we go to the ICC Duterte part. Kasi, ano naman, basically, purong Senado tayo ngayon. Kasi yung Senate resolution about Duterte, gusto kong pag-usapan yan because I felt that was the height of insensitivity. Habang yung mga kababayan natin sa Cebu were in need of help, habang ang dami nangyayari sa bansa natin, they still are so concerned with someone as first world level treatment, best healthcare system, etc., even though accused of mass atrocity and killing thousands of people. If yung mga ibang senador, awang-awa kay Tatay Digong, sana naawa rin sila, kila Kian and all of those people who allegedly perished on this struggle. But before I go there, I just want to go to the Diskaya part because okay lang we didn't have Jess here because we discussed this kahapon naman anyway, which is just gave the two sides of why dapat bibigyan ng witness protection program si Diskaya or not, right? So basically, nag-neutral stance siya, but obviously I know where he stands on things or what's the leaning. Ikaw, Chris, how important is this witness protection program issued to you? And if ever bibigyan sila ng witness protection program, how political explosive it could be? Even though it looks like
Um,
you and Mark are less pessimistic than me and Ronald in terms of the political instability situation.
Yeah, for me, with regards to the Discayas and yung witness protection, as long as they are not saved by this, kasi they are equally as guilty eh. Hindi naman sila yung least guilty dito sa sa mga pangyayaring to eh. So they have to face the punishment that they deserve. Now, witness protection is to make sure na hindi sila mapatay kung sino man na nagde-threaten sa kanila to silence them. There are a lot of very powerful people that they've named. Some may possibly be killers. We don't know. Pero importante na maprotektahan sila. Pero kailangan silang managot sa kanilang ginawa. Yun ang sa akin. Ganun lang kasimple. But if you're going to make them, put them in a witness protection program and suddenly wala silang accountability, ay magkakagulo talaga ang Pilipinas niyan. Pero nakita ko naman na sinasabi nga ni Secretary Remulla ba yun na pag tinignan mo nga yung mga penalty sa kanila umaabot ng 300 billion. So talagang wiped out yung kayamanan nila, which I think you deserve to take away all the money that they stole from the people. And for the government officials, kailangan talaga may managot. Bottom line, kailangan, I mean, again, we've said
But
it so many
why
times.
would you say, bro, na they're the same level? Kasi ang line ng Diskaya diehard supporters, is that, hindi, contractor lang sila, biktima lang sila, binuli lang sila ng mga malalakas na congressman. They always say congressman, hindi senador. Right? What do you have to say to that Diskaya diehard supporter line of argument? Na, ano lang sila, kawawa sila, napilitan lang
Oh,
sila.
nakakatawa yung logic na yun, napilitan lang daw, pero tingnan mo yung mga 40 cars, yung mga luxury cars sa mga Diskaya. Yung building nila na gold lined lahat ng entire building. Mukhang napilitan ba yun? Gusto nga nila maging mayor, di ba? They openly and voluntarily and excitedly opened 9 companies to bid for the government projects. Yan ba ang isang taong napilitan? Hindi. Nakinabang sila, kumita sila, billion-billion. At nakita nila paano i-game yung system. Kaya nila ginawa ito. Walang napipilitan dito. Kahit sabihin nila na, hindi, kailangan namin gawin kasi kung hindi kami makakakuha ng proyekto. Bakit mo ginawa nga? Kung talagang napilitan ka at sobrang sama ng loob mo na ginagawa mo to, then why are you in it? Di ba? Yun lang yun. Iba naman yung um, talagang iniipit ka, nagnenegosyo ka, iniipit ka ng BIR, for example, iba yun. Ito naman, willingly siya nagbid, nag-participate, and nakinabang. Nagbigay siya, lahat sila naghati-hati, kaya that's a very lame argument that's been given on that one.
Ikaw, Mark, anong masabi mo sa Diskaya diehard supporters na sasabi, hindi, bigyan nyo sila ng witness protection program, kawawa, they're threatened, tsaka napilitan lang naman sila ng mga politiko, nabully sila ng mga congressman, kawawa naman sila, they're just meekling people, victimized by our dirty politics. Anong tingin mo dyan, Mark, sa Diskaya witness
Kasi
protection
ako
program?
with the Discayas, it's a very hard no. Pagdating sa state witness, yung hinahabol nila. Una pa lang yung yung mga ano pa lang, yung mga storya pa lang nila. Sobrang kulang-kulang na, teka lang, sorry. Sobrang kulang-kulang na, sobrang mali-mali na. Ni wala sa kalingkingan ng mga nangyayari talaga, ni pinapalabas. They are very much aware, sorry, ayos ko lang to. They are very much
Problem, bro.
aware nung nangyayari sa kanila. Sorry. Sorry.
So hindi sila helpless, kawawa. I mean, definitely they're not small time. I mean, if this were in other countries, sabi nila baka yung politiko pa ngayon tuta ng mga malalaking, 'di ba, negosyante, 'di ba? Usually yun ang rhetoric in other democracy, not the
O
other way.
hindi, sila yung sila yung contractor of choice eh. Pag gusto mong kumikbak ng malaki sa isang proyekto. So definitely hindi sila napilitan. Yun talaga yung modus nila. Yun talaga yung kanilang yun talaga yung kanilang pinaka kung bakit sila yung pinipili lalo na sa mga flood control. Siguro meron silang mga maaayos naman siguro, konting patong, pero kasi doon sa flood control, talagang doon talaga nakita yung kasakaman nila na ang laki nung kinikita nila doon sa mga proyekto na substandard eh. At doon talaga na kinukurakot na nila tapos sobrang substandard pa, hindi pa napapakinabangan ng tao. So para sa akin yung mga diskaya, it's a very hard no pagdating sa state witness.
And
And
do you think yung
hindi
gulo
lang naman kasi
mabilis?
sa Congress sila eh. 'Di ba lumalabas sa DOH may proyekto sila, sa NBI may proyekto sila, sa mga local may proyekto sila. So hindi naman to kinunchap, hindi kumbaga hindi to sa Congress lang or sa Senate lang, lahat saklaw nila eh. So hindi sila pwedeng masabi na mas maliit sa Definitely yung mga Diskaya, isa sa mga pinakamalaking kinita diyan. Ayun, aside from dun sa mga malalaking proponents.
And do you think magkakagulo, bro, if ever bigyan sila ng witness protection program? Do you think this could be the trigger for people to do more desperate things?
Hindi naman. Tingin ko hindi naman.
Like yung susugurin
Yung
yung
mga
bahay
Diskaya,
nila, yung mga ganun, hindi, sa tingin mo hindi mangyaring ganun, yung, di
hindi.
ba?
Oo,
Hmm.
nagpasa tayo sa ganun. Hindi, pero ang pakiramdam ko sa mga Diskaya, parang Alanapolis eh. I think they will, yun ang baka, Yun ang ano, kung sino yung pipiliin ba? Pipiliin kung sino yung ita-target. Kasi ganun na nangyari doon sa una eh, sa unang Blue Ribbon eh, with Marcoleta eh. Parang they were weaponized eh. 'Di ba? For the other side, baka ganun din yung mangyari. 'Di ba? Para to save their skin, para mas kumonti yung kaso sa kanila, para nasa good side sila nung nakaupo. They could be weaponized or parang Napoles style to target kung sino yung mga ano. Sana lang kapag nagsalita sila, yung totoo na yung kung sino talaga yung mga ano nila, kung sino, kung ano talaga yung, kasi yung pinangalanan nila, walang kulang ng detalye eh. Hindi sigurado talaga doon sa ano eh. Pinili nila yung mga ilang distrito na wala sila masyadong proyekto, wala sila masyadong mga ginagawa, pero yung mga areas na kung saan malalaki yung yung ano nila, yung kanilang mga proyekto hindi nila sinama doon sa listahan. So hopefully isama nila doon sa ano, kung saan yung mga malalaki. Tapos meron silang records naman eh. Kung saang project kami malaki, sino yung malaking binigyan ko. Alam naman nila yung ano, yung sistema diyan. Yun nga, nagrereklamo yung mga senador, bakit hindi tinatarget yung congressman. Nandiyan naman si Diskaya eh, pigain niyo si Diskaya. Kakantayan kung sinong congressman na inabutan nila. Posible namang wala eh. Meron naman talaga yan eh.
All right, so this sets us for the last part, which is the international part. Ito na, pinakamalaking tanong ko. I'll start with you, Mark, for reasons na you should know better than. Sinong unang uuwi? Zaldi or Harry? Kasi dalawa na yung fugitive na malapit sa amin dito ngayon. It's like they're just across the channel. Like, Zaldi to the south, si Anel slightly to the north. 1 hour flight po.
Pareho yatang walang planong umuwi eh. Parang pareho yatang ano.
Sino
Pareho
mas
yatang
maraming
walang
pera?
planong ano.
Sino mas maraming pera? Para
Ano yan?
Zaldi, no? Mas mayaman si Zaldi, no?
Oo, yun lang, yun lang. Oo, si Zaldi mas may pera pang ano, catch me if you can. 'Di ba? Medyo mas may ano yan.
At hindi
Kaya mukhang
makipaghumba.
mahihirapan.
At hindi siya
Ano
makipaghumba.
yan?
At hindi siya mahilig
Hindi, kasi ang
makipaghumba.
problema kasi dun kay Zaldi, syempre, kapag siya yung nahuli, kapag siya yung marami siyang pwedeng idawit eh. So baka meron ding mga iba na ayaw nang bumalik si Zaldi dito. Yeah, so merong ganong ano hindi lang sa Kongreso. Kasi 'di ba kahit sa Senado, 'di ba, meron ano 'yan yung parang committee silang dalawa lang ni Cheese, 'di ba? So merong
Mhm.
ganong parang even smaller, parang smaller committee daw na nag-aano dun sa budget. So maraming alam si Zaldi eh. Hindi lang sa
Senior
Congress
Santos.
side. Oo, kahit sa Senate side, alam niya eh. So, kapag si Zaldi yung kumanta, mas lalong gulo yun, mas lalong malaking ano.
So, okay lang kumanta si Harry. Is that what you're saying? Kasi walang maiwala. Ano
Oo.
update kay Harry Roque? Si Sir Ronald nasa TikTok para na siya ni Harry Roque. Sabi ko parang updated na update kita sa TikTok ni Harry. Who, who follows him on TikTok for heaven's sake? Ikaw, ano Mark, ano mga huling update kay Harry? Pwede kami mag-ano kami, tatlo
Wala,
mag-meeting ni Zaldi, Harry, and Ricky.
puro sa dahig lang eh. Basta siya yung punong abala doon. Tapos di ba nag-aaway-aaway yung mga DDS doon. Wala, nag-aano lang si Harry. Naghihintay lang ng ano, naghihintay lang, umaasa lang na makabalik yung
Miraglo.
mga Duterte para makauwi na
Oo.
siya.
Well, I mean, clearly, if there's a coup or God forbid something else, he's gonna be one of the first persons to hope for a new
Pero
life.
kasi hindi na siya yung ano ngayon eh. 'Di ba natabunan din yung mga issue sa kanya, yung mga pogo, yung mga natabunan din ng flood control eh. So yan din yung example mo, 'di ba? Kapag merong mas malaking issue, nawawala yung mga issue sa pogo, yung
Lasagna effect.
posibleng yung mga connections niya doon, 'di ba? Kaila doon sa mga kaila Lucky, nakalimutan ko na Lucky 9 na, nakalimutan ko na yung mga pangalan ng pogo na connected si Tatay Hari eh. So
Yung
nakalimutan
Lucky
na
Nine,
lahat
yung
yun
nine
na natabunan ng flood
senators.
control.
Ano ka ba?
Ah,
Lucky Nine, yung nine senators na DDS. Yun yung Lucky
Lucky
Nine.
9 na.
Pampogo talaga yung pangalan eh. Lucky Nine. Ikaw, Chris,
Oh,
so,
pero yun, kumbaga naging parang display. Tapos naging another talking piece na lang siya. Kasi syempre, ang mainit na talking piece ngayon, sila Kiko Barzaga, sila, ano yun ay mainit eh. So parang naging isang side, ano na lang tong si Harry. Naging isang, just one of the
side show.
voices na lang din ng DDS ngayon.
Kaya nga eh, nagmamanhunt sa kanya, wala na sa PNP eh. Diba? Papatanggal nila. Although technically siya pa rin yung four-star general. I mean, how fast people moved on from Torre, no? I wonder about General Torre if he's gonna make a political comeback. I'm wondering what's his plan. Kasi sayang everything he built up. And of course, he's gonna be very vulnerable.
Sayang, sayang.
And he's gonna be vulnerable to retribution. I mean, if bumalik ang mga Duterte, I mean, to be more serious about this. I wanna ask you, Chris, about this. I mean, if Zaldico knows where all the bodies are buried, then he has a reason to never show up, right? Or many people
Yeah,
have a reason he will never show up, to put it more brutally.
absolutely. Pero I think naman with Zaldico, he was the most guilty of all more than anything So it's not like he has dirt on other people but himself Unless nga somebody wants him silenced, di ba? Yun din, pwede yun mangyari. So he also has to watch out for his back. But at the same time, if I was Zaldico, I of course I wouldn't come back if I was him. But at the same time, the government has other ways of getting to him, like the Interpol blue notice nga, diba? So if they switch that to a red notice, I think we'll be able to get Zaldico back. I think possible na as if he can try to really disappear from the world, then good for him. But that's not such a nice way of living, nagtatago ka na from the law for the rest of your life. Harry Roque naman, at the same time, man, I don't know how he's able to live large like that na
Large,
as a
like what?
fugitive.
What's,
No, di ba?
what's that? What
So,
do you mean
tignan
by
natin.
large? Now, let's end on this note. Tatay Digong, our brilliant senators, were able to squeeze in the middle of everything happening in the country, including, of course, our hearts goes to the victims of yung latest earthquake sa Cebu. Nag-ano pa sa Taal Volcano, no? Grabe yung bating nature, nagagalit na rin sa, pero kawawa naman yung mga ordinary people who are being caught in between. But I mean, like the senators had time to come up with this pathetic resolution which has no bearing whatsoever in ICC. So, ano yun? Show of loyalty? Pakit sa mga DDS? What is your read on that, Mark? Yung ICC resolution ni ang Tatay Digong. Si Lacson, awang-awa daw siya kay Tatay Digong. I wonder kung ever naawa siya doon sa mga matatanda na kinukulong nung panahon ng pandemic under Duterte, yung mga sila Kiando Los Santos, yung mga kabataan na namatay during the Budul drug war. I mean, this is false sympathy at its worst, isn't it?
Oo eh. Ako ang naiisip ko yung mga magulang and yung mga family members na yung sa paghilom, yung kasama nila Father Flavi. Kasi it's one thing kapag nakasalamuha mo sila in person talaga eh. Nakausap mo yung pain nila eh. Siguro, ayun ang problema eh. Kasi dahil ang issue, flood control, nakakalimutan eh. Nakakalimutan na those weren't just hindi lang numbers yung tinatrial ngayon dun sa ICC. Mga actual na tao yun eh. May mga pamilya sila, may mga mahal sila sa buhay na survivors. And ako I have to salute yung tumindig na tatlo tas yung dalawang nag-abstain. Ano eh, walang kumbaga walang political, wala ka ano eh, ang laki nung ang laki ng pambabash sa'yo when they voted no, when they abstained, pero they stood their ground and kinampihan nila yung mga pamilya ng mga nawawala siguro sa ano eh, siguro dapat na ilalabas uli and ano uli na pag-uusapan uli kasi nakakalimutan talaga eh. Ang naiisip lang ang parating ano ligtas sa drugs, yung ganung propaganda nila pero yung the lives siguro ano, siguro importante din natabunan din sa news yung kay Royina Garma. Eh, para once and for all ma-settle na eh. It's one thing if gusto mo yung ginagawa nilang Tokhang at EJK, pero you have to acknowledge that it happened. Kasi
Yeah.
dalawang klase ng DDS eh. Meron yung iba na in denial na nangyari yung Tokhang and yung mga EJK. Meron namang iba, they acknowledge na nangyari pero okay lang sa kanila. For the sake na tumahimik kahit na you break the law o ano. So, yung kay Royina, napaka-importante nung ilalabas niya eh. Kasi she was there eh. Alam niya yung quota system, alam niya yung reward system. So, maybe maganda na mailabas din yung ano, coming from her side kapag nagsalita na siya tungkol dun sa what really happened nung drug war.
Absolutely. Ikaw, Chris, how do you see this whole Duterte chapter? Because, of course, God forbid something happens to Duterte, then that could be another cycle of mobilization and alam mo na, di ba? Ang daming drama yan, ang daming nangyari. Ang daming nangyari. Although,
Yep.
if Tatay Digong is hoping magkakaroon ng coup, baka he'll hold on as long as he can.
Yeah, with regards to Duterte naman in the ICC, I don't think they're going to be swayed by this resolution. As a matter of fact, the resolution could even work against the Duterte, yung ginawa ng senator, yung mga senador na to. At para sa mata ng mga publiko naman, nakikita nga natin na ang mga senador na to ay hindi makabayan. Maka-Duterte sila. Hindi sila pumapanig sa mga biktima, sa mga maliliit, sa mga walang kalaban-laban. Pumapanig sila sa makapangyarihan. Pumapanig sila sa isang tao na hindi man lang nagbigay ng kahit na anong klaseng humanitarian considerations kahit kanino. Doon sila pumapanig. Doon sila naghihingi ng humanitarian consideration sa isang tao na hindi man lang makapagbigay nun at walang pake doon. Yun ang nakikita kong problema natin dito. May mga tao dyan na sumusuporta pa rin sa ganitong klaseng ganitong klaseng pananaw. Nasasabihin sa atin na hindi, kawawa naman siya, matanda siya. Again, like you said, Richard, he's living in a very nice senior citizen's home with 3 meals a day, choice of meals pa, may kama, may TV,
TV,
may
right? TV,
sariling banyo,
exactly.
may community center pa siya na makihalubilo sa mga iba't iba pang mga alleged criminals. So, ano ba talaga ang sinasabi nilang parang inhumane treatment na nangyayari kay Duterte? You call that inhumane? Nakita ba niya yung tirahan ng karamihan ng ating mga kababayan na nasa may squatter areas, mga informal settlers? Ha? Yung nakatira sila in a space that's not even 15 square meters for an entire family of 8 up to 10 people. Na yung banyo ay wala man lang proper walls. Tapos proper rooms. Okay, sa buong pamilya yan. Yan ang inhumane. Yan ang dapat ginawa nila ng resolution for humanitarian consideration. Not just a resolution, yan ang dapat ginawa nila ng paraan. Dahil sa Senado, may kapangyarihan sila called the power of the purse to be able to actually allocate the 1 trillion pesos na inubo sila sa flood control na ibigay sa ating mga kababayan. Yan ang dapat ginawa ng mga senador. Hindi nagaksaya ng oras na nakikiusap sa nakakaawang Duterte na to sa pinahihirapan na daw. Please, hindi nahihirapan si Duterte. And he has medical attention there. All the medical attention that he needs. So wag tayong magpapadala din sa mga ganito kasi mga kaartehan ng ating mga senador at dito lang nila pinapakita ang kanilang loyalty ay hindi sa bansa kundi sa isang tao lamang.
And it just reminds us that maybe we needed an ICC. Otherwise, good luck with getting justice. I mean, let's be honest. Kung ganyan yung mga leaders mo, di ba?
May last point lang din ako, Richard, tungkol dito. And I always
Please,
say this,
please, take your time, Mark.
na minsan if you're fighting against the Dutertes, if you're kakamping or kung ano man, minsan pinanghihinaan ka ng loob minsan. Ang I always remind them, I always tell them na itong laban kay Duterte, nanalo na tayo eh. Trillanes already won. Okay, yung hostisya, yung matapon lang siya doon sa dahig. Ilang buwan na siyang nakakulong and mukhang he'll be there for many years. Nanalo na tayo sa round na to. Yung laban sa 2028, that's another battle. 'Di ba? So we prepare, pero wag natin kalimutan nanalo tayo. Naghanap tayo ng hustisya para doon sa mga biktima and yun, nandoon. He is facing na yung kanyang krimen na ginawa. So, wag tayong panghinaan ng loob. Kasi ano naman kasi if you keep on fighting the good fight, 'di ba? We won. Panalo na, nakakulong na 'di ba? Yung mga accessories na lang, yun na lang isusunod. Pero yung pinaka main mastermind, yung main culprit, he is already paying for his crimes. So, yun yung punto ko. Wag tayo panghinaan. Sa 2028, Sarah could win. That's a different battle altogether na. Diba? Pero sa round na to, in finding justice para sa victims ng EJK, nanalo tayo. Yun ang punto ko. And they could ask for whatever they want. They could ask for hindi naman makikinig yung ICC. Ang importante, he is paying for his crimes doon sa dahig.
Tsaka si Manong Fishball na napalaya. So, 2 na, 2
Mura kikiam.
2-0 na. On that note, I mean, if we had more time, I know you gentlemen are both tired, but next time siguro, Mark, pag-usapan din natin your own journey, no? I mean, we have been friends for almost, what, half a decade now, and more than half a decade, since 2019 pa tayo kaibigan, di ba? You have come a long way, and I don't mean it in a patronizing way, in a way na nakita ko yung journey mo rin, di ba? As a non-partisan, non-political vlogger, and ngayon nakikita ko ang lawak ng inyong yung kaalaman, pero actually also your passions about the situation. So, Mark, you were always one of the most encouraging things to me whenever I listen to you. And also, you're always also a way for us to understand, di ba? Na habang pwede tayong magdebate dito, ito yung mga assignment na kailangan natin gawin in terms of getting people on the right side. Thank you so much, Mark. Happy birthday kay Mommy mo again. And advance happy birthday sa National Treasure. The other National Treasure, of course, Ronald Liamas. And of course, maraming
Happy
salamat,
birthday.
Tristan. And I hope wherever Attorney Falsis is, he's happy. God bless and talk to you soon.